Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Be a Buddy Not a Bully. My name is Kaitlyn, and I've recently graduated from high school. I'm a second-year Ambassador Girl Scout, and I've been in Girl Scouts for 12 years, which is since first grade. Only about 5% of girls stay in Girl Scouts through high school, and only 6% of those girls finish their Gold Awards. I'm already part of the 5% who stayed in Girl Scouts, and I'm aiming to be part of the 6% who complete their Gold Award. Now, I've been bullied since kindergarten, but I remember it since first grade, and it went on through my freshman year of high school, which is a decade to 10 years of being bullied. Now, in order for this to work for me, I need data to show that this program is actually teaching you something helpful. You'll be doing 2 surveys, one in probably less than a minute, and the other one at the end. It'll help me see if I need to change anything with the program or not. So, what really is Be a Buddy Not a Bully? Be a Buddy Not a Bully is a program to reduce bullying through parent education and prevention/intervention to make a greater impact in the future. Obviously, we're not going to see an impact right away. We have to wait for parents to teach their kids these things. We have to wait for the kids to grow up, and we need to read the data then. If there is somehow any difference, like it being lower, then I know that I somehow helped make a difference. So this is the time you're going to do the survey. I'll give you a couple seconds to pause the video and go do that. Before I tell you to pause the video, I will tell you that all the data that I get goes into a spreadsheet. And that spreadsheet has all your answers. Everything except names. It does not record names. It records dates and times, though. So, if you're up at, like, midnight doing this, I don't judge, okay? I do not care. It's whatever. It's whenever you have time to do it. So, I will also say that the beginning survey is only like 5 questions. I can actually check real quick. I have one right here from someone who did it for my in-person. Oh, I'm wrong. It's 4 questions. Even less. The end one is 5 questions because I wanted to see how I did. Other than that, you can go ahead and pause the video now, and I'll see you in a couple seconds or in a couple minutes when you are done with the survey. We good? We cool? Okay, great. So, before we get into actually learning how to handle things, I'm going to set up some universal understandings. So, we're just on the same page as everything. So, what I'm gonna read to you is different, like, meanings and definitions. But first, I typed that wrong. That is not my school district's name. I'm gonna read you a quote from my school district. Hooray! So, quote, "Bullying happens. It affects children and adults alike, and it's never okay. However, the term bullying has become so broadly applied that it's often used to describe every instance where someone's feelings are hurt. This overuse diminishes the real and harmful effects of actual bullying and undermines the experiences of the significance of what bullying really is." End quote. This is from a sheet called Universal Understandings, given to families at the beginning of the school year. The school district has 4 terms that I have shortened to make them a bit more concise and easier to understand in such a short time frame. The first one is conflict. It's when 2 people don't see eye to eye. It's different opinions. So, say, take me and my friend, for example. I love dark chocolate. Dark chocolate is the best for me. Or, to me. Also the best for me for migraines. It's really good for migraines. Love it. But my best friend, she has been my best friend since first grade. Met her through Girl Scouts. She insists that milk chocolate is so much better. That's not seeing eye to eye. That's having different opinions. That's a conflict. The second term is rude. It can be seen as when someone is not using their manners. So, like, not saying please and thank you, butting in line, just being rude. The third term is mean. It's when the thing only happens once or twice, such as unintentionally being unkind or making someone else feel bad. The main ones are saying hurtful things and not including people in things. So, like, little kids saying, oh no, you can't play with us. Like, you can't play with us. So that's being mean. The last term is bullying. I don't know if my camera moved. I think it did. I have it precariously stacked, so I do not have, I'm recording on my phone. That's the only thing I have. But bullying, side tangent. Bullying is when a person keeps being mean even when they know they're hurting the other person's feelings. But the thing is, it's always kind of hard to tell, because kids roughhouse, they argue with each other, and oftentimes things that are bullying get mistaken for, oh, it's just kids being kids. And things that are just kids being kids are, in fact, things that are bullying. So they often get mixed up, and adults are often kind of confused and a little bit nervous to say, hey, which is it? So a common scenario is when a child's getting picked on by, so, hold on, I got this, I got pens. I got pens and pencils. So, these four, it's a group. This, you can barely see those. I'm going to switch this out for a red. There we go. Now you can kind of see all of them. So, say this is a group of kids, and they are bullying this kid. What an adult has to try to figure out is if these four kids know each other, and if they're doing it as a group, or if they just happen to know each other and they're doing it all separately. But that doesn't give us data. So, for my data, I use the Youth Risk Behavior Survey, or YRBS for short. It's given every 2 years to high school students, and it asks about risky behaviors such as smoking, vaping, drugs, etc. Things we shouldn't be doing. It's anonymous, and it was my main source, and I took it. I took it, I believe, my freshman and junior year. So, I am actually part of that data. I'm just realizing that now. The soonest that data will be updated will be next school year. So, I will update my data then. So, the data I'm giving you now is from Wisconsin for the past 12 months. I should say before I give you this information that students did have the option to skip questions if they were not comfortable answering them, and that kids obviously lie. I had kids in my class who like, oh yeah, I'm this, and this is how I answered. But the data, people go through the data, and they do kick out those that seem like, hey, this doesn't seem right. Like, they answer too extreme for everything. So we're gonna set this person aside for now. Of course, there are people who are actually like that, but they do take it with a grain of salt. So beware, there probably is some bias in this information. So it's not totally scientifically correct, but having data that might be a little bit incorrect is better than having no data at all. So, from the past 12 months from my state, Wisconsin, there are 1 in 5 kids that are bullied on school property. All those kids bullied on school property, 1 in 3 are LGBTQ and 1 in 6 are hetero. There are also 1 in 6 were male and 1 in 4 were female. In those same 12 months, 1 in 6 were bullied online, and of those people bullied online, 1 in 4 were LGBTQ and 1 in 7 were hetero. 1 in 8 were male and 11 in 50 were female. I, for some reason, didn't want to go to an easier percentage. So, I don't know, 11 and 50. I don't know that math. I could not do that math. It did not come out to a nice number. It did not like coming out to the nice number. I don't know how to make it a nicer number. It's not nice in any way, shape, or form. So, like I said before, we just want to help our kids. So, having this data is better than having no data at all. That is all I have for this video. Bye, post-it notes. Okay. That is all I have for this video. So I will let you guys go. So have a good day. And remember, be a buddy, not a bully.